The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. So there's this boy who quite favors this one particular tree, plays in the leaves or so, climbs up on the branches, and hey, playtime. All of us kids are accustomed, all of us, when we were kids, we were accustomed to such a thing. Nothing out of the ordinary about that. In fact, nothing out of the ordinary about this particular story. And I will be tying it to life, to actual life. And one thing that I want you to remember, since we're talking about a kid right now, he's unconscious. He's unconscious. Okay, so let's just assume that this is a kid. He's unconscious, like most kids. Okay, I mean, intuitively they understand things, but just they're unconscious. Okay, it's the reason why they aren't allowed to do certain things, nor would you want them to do certain things. Like I don't want my 1 year old trying to cook for me. But anyway, so the kid does this, and we just assume the kid does it until he reaches a certain age, and when the kid does reach a certain age, the tree is ever so inviting and says, well, welcome back. Hey, do what you've been doing. Hey, the branch is still going, still got the leaves for you. And he says, well, now I need money now. Things have gotten real out here. I need money. Uh, so he said, well, the tree says, well, I don't have any money, but you can sell these apples. You can sell my apples. Get yourself some money. All right. So the boy did, and spent a lot of time away. Left the tree behind. Comes back a much older man. Years have passed, we assume. Uh, you would say he's mid age when he comes back. Okay, follow me here. Follow me here. I just refreshed myself on the story, but I don't have it all down. But he comes back. He's mid aged. And he says, well, look, I'm married now. I got kids. He's probably not mid-age, but let's just, or whatever. All right, I'm married now. I got kids, whatever. I need a house. And, well, then the tree says, well, take my branches and build yourself a house. So he does. He comes back much later. He's older, and he says, I'm unhappy. I don't like it here. Yada yada yada. Which kind of implies that he's been, he's lived close by for all this time, and I'll wrap that up later. But anyway, and he says, I need a boat to get away from here. And the tree says, well, take my trunk and go away. I mean, and make a boat. So then he comes back, which is really interesting. But he comes back, and he, as an even older man, I guess, towards the end of his life, and they were just going down of what they don't have anymore. The tree was saying, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have. Never even blamed that particular man. Never blamed him, in spite of the fact that the man left the tree lonely, never watered it. It was never implied that the tree was watered, cared after. Like just a resource. Just something to use, just something to help you get on your goddamn feet, and an afterthought, in between. So he says, I just need to take a seat. And the old man says that, and the stump, which is no longer a tree, says, well, you can have a sit on me. You can sit on me. and that's the end. Okay. Um. So I was thinking about this before I even wanted to do refresh myself on the story, and very instantly I started thinking, don't be the giving tree. Now, granted, it has to be a bit conditional because I do believe in giving. But let me tie this all together the best way that I possibly can on the fly with no sleep. I mentioned the child being unconscious. Well, a lot of us, we don't grow out of that unconsciousness, unfortunately. So what we have are a bunch of adults, unconscious adults, seeking external uh, resources to satisfy their shortcomings and not quite willing to reciprocate um, deeds and favors and services rendered. I want something. Can you give it to me? Thank you. Or the new thing that we say right now, which isn't quite new, but it's disturbing. Like you give a homeless person some money, probably a person around my age or so, and they don't even say thank you. They say good look, or they say appreciate it. No, you fucking say thank you at least. But that's a different story. We're talking about the giving tree here, but unconscious people, parasites. So I have something that I wrote on Facebook before, and I was saying nobody disappears quicker than someone who knows they can't use you. Okay, so with all these parasites out there, all these goddamn termites and shit, just want to use you up. Then when you're done, you're an afterthought. But so here's the message right here. Okay? So we do have purposes in this world. We are here for a reason. Okay? But very often is the narrative. We run into somebody and we give. Now, we give more than they can ask for, or more than they do ask for. That's our own undoing. But we give. We hold out hope that this one person is going to come back, that this one person is going to be satisfied by that which we have to offer. That we pretty much block out in everyone else. We limit the possibilities of letting somebody else in. We have imprinted on particular individuals, perhaps unjustly, as unnecessarily. We've imprinted on them, and we've tied our identity to them. We let them drive us into the ground, and then we have nothing. But before that, they drive us into the ground, and once they no longer have any use out of us, they can't get any use out of us, they say, oh, well, you changed. You're not the same anymore. You're not that sparkly knight in shining armor that you once were. What happened to that person? What happened to the person I fell in love with? Well, you sucked the life out of me, and I helped you. That's what happened. I gave you all my resources. I could have fed dozens of you, but I reserved it all for you. Now what do I have? I'm a stump. I am the debris of my former self, because I thought that it was the right thing to do to give to somebody who couldn't even water me. Like, even if you were grateful, even though I think true gratitude is reciprocity. Now it doesn't mean, okay, I give you a gift that costs $500 and you got to give me a gift that costs $500. That's not what I mean. But like, let's just assume that you are able to be grateful without reciprocity. Like, the least you could do is water me, my friend. Like, you understand how hard life is. There's a reason why you turn to me. You don't think life could possibly be hard for me? I am giving you what I have. So when you see me and I have less, shouldn't that like set off something within you? Shouldn't that be a red flag of sorts? You know. So when I speak on don't be a giving tree, don't give your all to one person. Obviously, do your best in any engagement, any event, any connection, relationship that you may have. But don't give everything that you have. Don't give yourself away. You run the risk of being broken down to the point of no return. A lot of people have tied their identities to relationships, and when it's over, it's like a part of you has died. All right, you can't eat. You don't want to entertain anybody else in whatever fashion. You want to stay away from love music, and anything that reminds you of that person. You want to stay away from rom-coms and all that, those chick flicks. I mean, I don't deal with them anyway, but you want to stay away from those things. You lose yourself, and it takes a while to get back if you ever do. But I'm saying, a lot of people, they tie their identities to another person, their relationship, and things like that. Some people think that it's worth committing suicide because of the pain. Dealing with this broken heart. It's unbearable. Unfortunately. So to wrap it all up, because this is really supposed to be 3 minutes. If you're going to come to someone, if you're going to seek refuge in somebody else's resources and what they have to offer, be sure to water them. With whatever you have to offer. It may not be right away, but always keep them in mind and always check up on them. You don't want to make them feel like they're all alone. You don't want to make them feel like they have to do something for you in order for you to stick around. That's very unconscious. It's very selfish. Okay? And if you are giving, if you are on the giving side, make sure that you develop something where you can give to multiple people without depleting yourself. Okay? You always want to stay as close to full as possible, so you can give and give and give without ever quite feeling empty. Okay? So as a tree, you don't give all your apples away. Okay? You don't give all of your branches away. You don't give your whole being away. Speaking of the trunk, so somebody can turn it in just a tool that they can use to get away from you. Alright? So I hope I made good with this video. Maybe I should have, wrote down a little something. But it was so fresh on my mind, and I felt so compelled to speak on these things, to speak on this, that I didn't even go to the car, man. And I'm the car man. But I appreciate you taking the time. Hope you got something out of this. Hey, if you got any recommendations, let me know. Like and subscribe. Talk to you later.